Hi, Adam Bazalgette here, founder of Scratch Golf Academy. Today's subject, golf swing drills, drop your arms and get into the slot. That's a key move, and it's a move that beguiles most players. It isn't that difficult, I promise, at least in theory. We'll give you some drills to show you the key move I think you need to understand to break through in this area. Very briefly, if you're new to the channel, perhaps you've watched Scratch Golf videos before but have never subscribed, I'd really appreciate it if you do that. Helps us build momentum. We want to bring you free content. Also hit the little bell there, then you'll be notified every time a new video is coming your way. Thanks. So what does it mean to get in the slot? Well, as I'll show you in a moment, it's the design of the club that dictates the slot. The arms have to come more down than out towards the ball. Let's have a quick look at the pros, see what they're doing, see what they're trying to accomplish so it's clear in your mind. Then we'll go out and we'll have a look at that secret key move that a lot of people overlook to help them do it. John Rahm on the left, younger Ernie Els there on the right. I've drawn a line up through the club shaft there, just below the belt buckle. By the way, I have a free 3-part detailed video course on how to hit solid shots, solid strike formula. Way more content than I can put into a YouTube video. Go pick that up for yourself down in the description box. I think you'd enjoy it. Let's have a look at Ernie. Well, let's have a look, I should say, at John on the left first. So that is the slot. Why is it the slot? Well, it's the design of the club. Now, let's have a look. In the backswing, he is not going to stay ad infinitum on that slot. Some swingers are pretty flat, but any of them that I've seen go above that. There is a natural rising of the arms, cocking of the wrists, etc. So it doesn't really matter because you're supposed to drop the arms back down, getting you in the slot when it's time to hit the ball. So it's right around where your pant legs are down through impact where you've got to be in the slot. Ernie Els, top of the backswing, again, a natural rise of the arms. That's normal. Right arm folds, wrist cock. Watch it come down more. Again, he's a little above it, but he's certainly close enough to it to play super well there, and he's close to the slot where it counts right through impact. Let's have a look at one quick, slightly less conventional look. Jim Furyk, people often say to me in golf lessons, he's got such a bad swing, how does he play so well? He doesn't have a bad swing, he has an unconventional swing. He's very close to the ball. He, of all players I can think of, has about the most rise of his arms. I mean, they are well up there. I don't recommend that to the average player, but he's able to drop them back in, so when it counts, he's in his slot again, and that is what works. He doesn't swing at the golf ball, he swings down into the slot. Okay, here's the move I think that most people fail to understand or fail to prioritize when they try to work on this. The trail arm for the right-handed golfer, the right arm folds in the backswing. Now, frankly, most people overfold it, get it cramped or stuck against their ribs. We're going to assume you're doing it the proper amount there. So it folds though, and it's part of what gets the arms to come up a little bit and gets the club up in a good slot at the top. It has risen in the backswing. Here's what you've got to remember. The straightening of the right arm, in other words, the bringing down of the arms, is what keeps the left arm close to the body and gets this kind of motion. When this stays too bent and the body turns too much, especially the trunk, the club gets pulled out. Grab a club and go by a mirror for yourself. Check it for yourself. Go up to the top without unwinding. Straighten your right arm down like you're hammering a nail or something like that. You'll see you get into a slot back here with your left arm close to your body. Now, there's a lot of little pitfalls. There's some things we have to remember here. So let's again look at the pros, flesh out just how they're doing it, because it has to be dynamic. So Justin Rose there in both pictures. That rear view lets us see a couple of things we don't normally see quite in the same way. Now, hang in there with this little portion of the video. It might seem like there's a few slight contradictions or that it's just a bit complicated. Going to show you when we get outside an easy way to start to put this into practice. But let's get a couple of things in our mind. So if we look at the fold of his right elbow, let's say near the top of the backswing, it's a little bit less than 90 degrees. Early in the downswing, that fold will have become a little bit more acute. So initially, this is where it's got to be dynamic. Initially, there is a little slight loading of the right arm as the body shifts in that direction. But that straightens out quite a bit. Look how much straighter it looks there, and the straightening out moments later. There's the little load, The straightening out allows the arms to work down, and it allows that left arm to stay near the body there. It allows you to get down in that slot. Now, as he's doing this, this is another thing you'd want to notice. If we look, let's say, 2/3 of the way back at the amount of right wrist break, that has increased significantly. Let's stop it right there. That has increased significantly. And as I'll show you in a minute, you can simultaneously load the arm or begin to straighten the arm after you've loaded it and add wrist angle. So he's both loading the wrist and straightening the right arm. Ernie Els, let's have a look at him here. Again, let's have a look at the wrist cock he's got at that point. Right there. Those wrists are more angled at that point, but as he gets down into that downswing, that right arm's getting pretty long. And if we look at him again from this down the line view, right arm's pretty long right there, and again, it's facilitating the club coming down. Very quickly, one of the best for sure, Sergio Garcia. Let's watch his right arm. Momentary loading. Certainly the wrists are loading, but right arm pretty long right there as he comes down. Again, arms close to the legs in the slot. Okay, best way to get the feel, grab a hammer. Picture yourself breaking a tabletop or something like that. We don't want too specific a target like a needle nail. What you would notice if you made a big bold move, you'd use your body a little bit. Momentarily your right arm would load, but then it would straighten. Here's the key, as it straightens you would actually be adding wrist cock momentarily so that that's there for you at the bottom. If you can do that, grab a hammer and just play around with it, you can do this. That is exactly how you're creating the kind of energy, how we want you to be in the golf swing. I like using a towel. If you've watched my videos, you've seen that a little bit before. That's the feeling. Go up to the top of a backswing. Same feeling, hammering the nail there dynamically. Start to get the feeling for what your right arm should be doing, where the club should be going. Let's have a look from this angle. Okay, here we are from this angle. Here's the towel. Again, in my mind's eye, I'm kind of cracking it down towards that, but as I'm doing it, as you saw with the hammer, I'm loading this wrist. It's dynamic. There's some movement in my core, but the orientation is down to the ball. And what I would do, you don't have to have a towel with you. You could do a few imaginary swings like that. Take the club at the bottom of the handle with the right hand, do a few slow but dynamic, nice little swings down, then start doing it without a ball. Dynamic pump, and through. And remember, the arm's job primarily is to get the club down. The body gets it forward and around onto the ball. So when you go to hit the ball, don't react to the golf ball. Just keep making your arms do the same thing and just let it sort itself out. Let's try it here. Less than a full swing. I've got my dynamic feel. Caught that a little thin, I don't even care. Starting to get the feel for what roles different parts of the body play and how to find their slot. It isn't that difficult if you're patient with yourself and you relax and you don't try for too much speed at the beginning. You get the feel for this thing. Do it away from the ball first. And remember, underlying all these things is that mental tendency golfers have to aim the thing they're holding at the golf ball and effectively make the golf ball the target instead of the target the target. So watch out for it. Thumbs up if you like the video, I'd appreciate that. Just do these drills. You can really solve this problem and play athletically.